I know. Love those hugs. My gosh. But Meredith and I talked about her service. Some guidelines I'm going to kind of use in this come from her. We kind of put it together, as we said, about 2 years ago of what she wanted, and then I sat down and put it together over the last few days with some help with somebody at the church, and Mary with the Ascended Masters group that she loved so much. But let's begin. A human life is sacred. It is sacred in its being born. It is sacred in its living. And it is sacred in its dying. Please pray with me. Creator, yours is the beauty of childhood, and yours is the fullness of years. Comfort us in our sorrow. Strengthen us with your hope, and breathe peace into our troubled hearts. Assure us that the love that we rejoice for a time is not lost, and that Meredith is with you, and yes, she is here with us. Meredith had talked about the 23rd Psalm, how much she loved it, so I want to share that with you. I really believe if you listen to each line of it, it really reflects a lot of how she thought about life. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. And yea, though I walk through the valley, the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. These words that we see shared at so many occasions like this, and again, if you break down each line, I can clearly see Meredith in them. I can see her smile, and I can see her understanding of this important reading. Just one example, and I'll go to the most obvious one. I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, for I will fear no evil. This reflects her belief in an afterlife, of crossing through the veil without fear, without hesitation, because she knows what is ahead, and she knows her master will be there to comfort her and will stay with her. The mystery of death is simple. It does not exist. Our soul simply transitions to a new place that I like to call home, whatever you call it, be it heaven or Bartos. The one sure hope that we all have is that Meredith is still very much alive in spirit. This beautiful lady came into my life about 20 years ago and became part of my family. I became part of hers. That is just a moment in time compared to the lifetime that you have shared with her. She was my mentor. Somebody came up, somebody said, that must be Meredith's pastor. No, Meredith was my pastor. She was my mentor and got me through a spot where I was ordained. And she was also my teacher, but most importantly, Meredith was my friend. She taught me and introduced me to the Ascended Masters. She taught me about meditation. She taught me about healing. Most important thing she taught me was to trust that still voice within me, my source, that I call the source of my being. And I'll always be thankful for her guidance and friendship that allowed my ministry to grow. She is truly loved by her Fellowship of the Inner Light family, where she was ordained. I was trying to come up with a date, I think right around 2000 is when she was ordained. But her gentle spirit will be remembered always in the hearts of our congregation. Through her ministry, she helped many families that had lost loved ones. She counseled them and was able to connect them to those that they have been separated from. Many people have been blessed by her healing abilities, which she freely shared with those in need. Has everybody had a chance to read her obituary? I think you put it together with some help. That obituary was beautifully written. If you haven't read it yet, make sure that you do, because it's beautifully done. And what I really liked about it is I think it captured her spirit of a fiercely independent woman that she was. Without a question, she was fabulous. I'll always remember how devoted she was to you, her family, and she loved each of her children and understood that you all had your own uniqueness. She told me your stories and was always proud of you. Whatever pathway you took, she's been at your side, quietly and sometimes not so quietly, but always believing in you and always in her unique way, loving you and accepting the journey that each of you have been on, the many pathways that have led you here. We must talk about her grandchildren. I'm so happy you two made it here. I can remember buying you a crib in Virginia Beach many, many years ago. That was a long time ago. But she loved you dearly, and she would always, whenever Sharon and I were with her, she would always tell the stories of you two and what you were doing. She loved you two a great deal. And she understood that our children are our future, and that was important to her, not only for the future of your family, but also for the future of the world. That children needed to have guidance and somebody behind the scene loving them and sending them that loving energy all the time, and she did that. There's one more part of her family that I have to mention. I think she loved them more than any of us, and that's her cats.
Yes.
God, she loved her cats. I think we all took second place there. But I'm sure wherever she's at now, those cats are with her. That's one picture I have of her, sitting up there in a nice easy chair. Her feet are up like I often saw her, and the cat sitting on her lap, just purring away. That was Meredith. Now, I've talked a little bit. I'd like to ask family and friends if you have something that you'd like to share at this time. Going to?
I'll say something.
Yeah, please, Tracy.
The main thing I remember Mom doing more than anything else is her late night calls. She didn't have to, but she did. I didn't understand her half the time. But the thing is, she was there and she said, Greg's always going to be with you, and so will I. That last call we did.
Right.
And she was right. She was so right.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to share something? Memory, something about her? No?
I will.
Okay.
I figured everybody else would, so
Jump
I
in.
didn't. I like to think of Meredith as a diamond. She was multifaceted. She had the most brilliant soul and personality of anybody I've known. She was a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, yeah.
But she loved she loved being a mother, a grandmother, and a great-grandmother. And as you said, she was also a teacher, a pastor, a teacher, a mentor, and a friend to all those at the fellowship. And I know I had struggled with the fellowship when I first started there. It was hard for me. And she taught a class that we looked at a book. It was called Siddhartha, and it was about a young Buddhist boy that was struggling to find his enlightenment. And I'll tell you, by the time we were done that book, she had opened so many doors for me. And it's one of the most beautiful stories I've ever read, and I still continue to read it. And I first met Meredith actually in the hospital. This is kind of a funny story. Larry had asked me to go check on his friend from church and see how she was doing. And so I went in to see her, and I walk in, and there she is, intubated, in a coma. So the conversation was quite one-sided. I told her that we were all thinking of her and praying for her, and that I promised when she was awake I would be back so we could get to know each other. And that's a promise I kept. Every day that I worked, I went in and sat at her bedside, and we had the most steadfast friendship. We had a connection, and from there we were the best of friends. We used to go out. We took, talk about the grandchildren. Whenever they came, we were over there. I took you guys to the zoo when you were little, but I don't know if you remember. But, we spent a lot of time outside of the church socially with them. We would go out to, she loved Mary's for breakfast, or the Sunrise Cafe. And we'd oftentimes go out to dinner. But what we loved to do was just get in and take day trips until her body started wearing down. But our last trip, I think, wasn't it to Jamestown?
Was.
And she brought her little jazzy motor scooter, and she was not going to be left behind. She wanted to experience life and continue it. And I've got to say that she was one of the most free-spirited and spiritual person I ever met. And I love her dearly. Gonna miss her, but as Larry said, I always told Meredith that she was a beautiful soul even when she was living, and now I know that her soul has gone on to eternity, to the life after. And I wouldn't have been able to say that 20 years ago, but she opened a lot of doors for me as a friend and a confidant.
Thank
She
you.
helped me understand him sometimes. When I didn't get it.
Good luck to that.
Those two were so bonded spiritually that bond will never ever be broken, even in death. And she would
It
help
isn't.
me to understand him because she knew him actually better than I did, spiritually.
Yeah.
So it's just, she had so many gifts.
Anyone else like to speak?
I'll say something.
Please, Mary.
I met her about 31 years ago, and she was just organizing the Ascended Masters with two other friends. And that's when I met her. And from then on, she was always organizing. I don't know Meredith when she can't organize, because even when she came to my last class, which was about a year or two ago, she was organizing a get-together. And she had only been there and didn't know anybody in the room except me, and you.
Yeah.
So she was really an amazing person. She really did.
She touched
She
a
affected
lot of people
everybody.
in this world.
Yeah.
Anybody that she was.
Yeah. She was phenomenal.
She was a great organizer too in the Lions Club.
Was she? Yeah, I tried to. You had the Lions Club with her.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. She used to do collections and stuff and
Right.
organize things
She
for
was
them.
the go woman in that Lions Club, because I'm going to tell you something. That was a man's club. Oh yeah, and she would not let it be just a man's club. So it was great.
Like I said,
You should see her
she
right
was
in
a
the middle
force
of
of
it.
energy.
Yeah, she was. She wasn't going to let him get him down.
No, definitely not take no for an answer.
And I remember another side of her. I'm a minister, but I retired as a funeral director after 45 years of service. And she used to work at the funeral home for me and assist with funerals. And I had her get up and she did services for people that didn't have a minister. And her own uniqueness, it was wonderful. She just helped so many people out. Anybody else like to speak?
I'm just glad she gave me my babies.
There you go. What a gift. What a
Yeah.
gift.
Keeps on
She
giving.
mentored me a lot.
Great.
She helped me through a lot of dark times, I can tell you that.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna miss her dearly. Me
Thank
and Meredith
you.
have a lot of long talks.
Yeah.
She was my number one fan.
Yeah. And while we're here, we talk about our prayers being powerful. I just want to say that all of our prayers, I know, are also with Stephanie. I'm not sure where she's at right now, but just keep her in your prayers. There. they're definitely needed there. All right.
There's a butterfly on the
Oh,
flower.
beautiful.
Just,
Oh, yeah.
random flowers.
Absolutely.
She's with us.
There's a butterfly, and right at 10 o'clock, a hawk flew over our tent.
Oh, wow.
If you know Meredith, she'd be all over that. I
That's
noticed
where I
and
get it
Mary
from.
did. I knew she would.
I still have a
All righty. I'd like to share with you part of the credo of our church, as I believe it really directly reflects her beliefs. And it's the last paragraph reads, "We believe it is not necessary to consider others wrong to make ourselves right. It is likely that every prophet throughout time has something valuable to share. It is likely that every religion has a gift to those who have ears to hear. We shall therefore welcome those who wish to worship with us in love, and we will love those who choose not to worship with us." Meredith was about acceptance. Meredith was about understanding. And she believed that if we understood these things, our world could be a better place. She took the teachings of many prophets and made them a part of her life. And our church was founded by a man called Paul Solomon. Let me just share a short reading that he gave us. "It is necessary that you express the highest that is within you, creating in this world places of light to which all people will be drawn. For that love is shared. Then together, and let it be said about you, see how they love one another." Those two things that kind of talk about our church and what we're about just so reflects Meredith. And it's fascinating that a lady from Roxborough, North Carolina, made her way all the way into Virginia Beach and found this little church at the ocean front. I came from upstate New York and found this little church. We all believe that there's pathways that we're put on, and I believe we found this place for a reason. There's three things that I want to tell you that we will not do today. Three things that we will not leave in this cemetery. We will not leave here without the knowledge that Meredith has not left us, for we know that there is no death, but rather we are welcome back to a place that will bring us peace. Yes, she was the anchor of your family, and this anchor will always be with you, encouraging you and loving you as her soul continues its life. Secondly, we will not lose our memories, for our memories are ours to cherish. Whenever you remember Meredith and her gentle spirit, think of that beautiful smile. And there are so many memories that you can share with each other, and there are others that are only for you, that you keep and just treasure within your own heart. I'll always cherish this stole that I'm wearing today. I wore this for a purpose today, because this was hers when she served as a pastor. And she wanted me to have that and gave that to me many years ago. I'll also remember the wonderful meals that we had at Mary's. Just good times with her. She liked the barbecued chicken, if I remember. But she just had a great heart. Lastly, we will not leave love in this place today. When we are separated from our earthly bodies and our spirit continues, the one thing that transcends with us to the other side is love. Love carries on into that next world. And I know she is comforted by the love that she feels coming from each of you. And I know that she's also capable of feeling the love that you have for her in return. I believe that Meredith will watch over each and every one of you and continue to guide us. Take a moment this evening or any time you choose and just sit quietly and let your thoughts go to Meredith. In this moment, I believe you will be present with her. in this moment, you both can experience the love that you have for each other. As she loved her ascended masters, I'd like to close with a benediction from beloved Kuan Yin, the goddess of mercy. Kuan Yin was the goddess of mercy and was a Buddha. And this is one of the masters that Meredith really followed and loved dearly. But the benediction says, "May the peace of God be upon this household. May the love of God be in your hearts. May the light of God be in your souls. May the wisdom of God be in your minds. May the strength and fidelity of God be among the members of your household. May the health and well-being of God be manifest through the bodies, through the garment you wear. May the grace of God be with you in your worship. May the talents and genius of God be manifest through your senses. May the fullness of the victory of your own God plan be manifest through your souls at the close of your earth life. Healing angels, lay your loving hands on Meredith and this family and give them strength and understanding. Empower them to move forward and feel the Christ presence within themselves. May the God of all understanding bless each and every one of us. And finally, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Thou lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you for allowing me to be here today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.